Welcome everyone to today's level 1 ChimeraFit class. Today's going to be a full body workout with a little bit of extra attention to things we can do to help with our posture. So like usual, we use our props, long band, a loop band, Pilates ball, and then if you're ready to add some resistance, extra resistance, some weights, free weights, we can add those in as needed. And we're just going to get started in sitting here. Option to sit on a pillow or cushion or just to give yourself a little bit of lift. And then maybe just to mix things up, I'll invite you to try the other foot in front to mix things up a little bit. And then just for a moment, you can, once you're in a comfortable sitting position, this by the way could even be on a chair if you prefer, you can close your eyes for a moment. As we're talking about posture, we're just going to take a second, close the eyes, just kind of check in and notice what you feel about your position. Without any judgment, there's no right or wrong. Start to notice your breath. Notice the weight of your sitting bones on the floor or on your chair or your cushion. And then as you're noticing your position, your alignment, see if you make any adjustments. If anything feels like, oh shoot, I'm leaning to the right or forward or back, like see if you notice anything there. Maybe make a little adjustment. Like I always notice I'm like, because I'm talking to you guys, I'm like leaning forward, like, oh, actually I can come back a little bit. And see if you can find a position that's a little more harmonious with where your body wants to be. Maybe a little less stress through the spine and the ribs. Seeing if you can allow yourself to be as tall as you can possibly be without straining. So still allowing the ribs to soften all the way down on your exhale. But at the same time, we have a little bit of lift and length all the way up from the crown of the head. And then on our next exhale, we can flutter the eyes open. And then we're going to start with some gentle movements, sitting cat-cow. So we're going to round the upper back and the pelvis, lighten your spine round a little bit as you exhale. Then inhale to let your chest come forward, shoulder blades back. Exhale to round. You can allow your head to bring chin down toward chest if it's comfortable. Inhale as you open up and then looking up. So moving as much as is comfortable through your spine. Exhale, rounding, coming back on toward the tailbone. Inhale, rocking forwards. Just going from that neutral position to the two other extremes of flexion and extension. Without forcing it, just gently moving from one to the other. And then when we come to the middle, we'll make it a circle. So we're moving the rib cage over the pelvis in a circular motion, taking your time, not going again to like the very end range, but trying to kind of stay in that 50 to 75% of your full range, at least at first, exploring the middle parts of the range in all of these directions. Inhale as your chest comes forward, just getting a little bit of movement through the spine. Exhale as we round back. Your hands are just resting gently on your knees. And once we come back to the center, pause and then reverse your direction. Exhale to round. And inhale as we come forward. As we're kind of thinking about posture, a lot of times we are imagining this like rigid, straight up and down, type of thing. But what's actually really important is that we have awareness of how to go in and out of a neutral position. And we have options with our posture. Not that we necessarily hold it in one perfect position all the time. And then we come to the center and pause there for a moment. Reach your right hand down to the ground as you reach the left arm up, just giving a little bit of gentle elongation on that side body. Take a nice big inhale into that left side of the rib cage as you hold the floor down, and then switch to the other side. Option to reach up partially, hand behind the head, or just do a side bend if there's limited shoulder range of motion there. Down to the other side one more time, either reaching up nice and long, or you could reach hand behind head or across the chest as another modification. So we get elongation in the side body, but without straining if there's shoulder issues coming up. So here, here, here. And then back to center. And then we're going to swing the legs around. Come up briefly to a hands and knees position. Hands right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Pause here for a moment. Check the alignment. Now, as we're talking again about posture of your head, check and make sure. So is your head poking way forward? If it is, can you bring it in line so that your ears are more or less over your shoulders? While you've got that neutral alignment of the head and neck, we're going to anchor the hands into the ground. Imagine like the floor, the mat is trying to fly away from the floor and you're holding it down using the upper part of the back, using your serratus anterior shoulder blade muscles to hold the mat down as you give a little push into the floor. Take 2 full breaths as you have that little bit of energy downward into the ground. And then we'll bend. Sitting back, keeping that forward pressure, we'll sit back into a child's pose, toes together, knees apart. Rest your forehead. And again, option to modify arms down by your side, or you can do fully down by your side or hands under the forehead. 2 full rounds of breath, allowing the ribs to expand out toward the side, toward the legs, and backwards up toward the sky. And then we're going to come back up, hands and knees. Bring your right knee forward, right foot rather, to a half kneel. So we've got the left knee underneath. Option to put a pillow under your knee. We're going to tuck the tailbone down just a little bit. Start to lunge forward into that front leg. Use a little bit of support here in the back of the leg so we're not just flopping forward. Just pause in that lunge and then ease back off of that. Stay with just a forward lunge here, or option to reach your arms forward and add a little twist, rotating toward that right side. So toward the front leg. And then come back. Bringing your hands back together, and then again, lunging forward, pausing before your end point, and then rotate the other direction, opening the chest. Crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling. Unwind to come back. We'll come out of that lunge. Then one more time each way. So we have a little bit of squeeze of the glute. Lunge forward, pause, gentle twist. Ribs stacked over pelvis. Unwind to come back. And then one more time, lunging forward and open toward the opposite side. And unwind back to the center. Once we come back down, we're going to swing that side around and then switch. So we've got left leg in front, right leg behind you, little tuck of the tailbone. And first, just checking out what your lunge feels like today, coming forward. Anchor your heel to the ground to come back. And then stay with either just lunging without adding the twist, or if we can, we'll reach forward and then twist first toward that front leg, letting the entire spine move with you. So it's not just shoulders. Unwind to come back. And then we're going to lunge again. Pause before that end point, standing tall, rotate toward the right. We're going to imagine like the air is nice and thick, giving a little bit of energy through the air. Come back out of the lunge, and then one more time each way. We're rotating, spinning just right over the center of your pelvis. Back to center. And one more time, lunge. And a little gentle twist. And unwind to come back. This time, when we come down, we're going to bring your hands toward the floor. Come up to a twisted lunge. So we're reaching up to the sky, right hand to the floor. Maybe extend the back leg. Again, option to keep the left arm down, behind head across the chest. Perfect. We're going to come back, step back, and then switch. Right foot in front, twisted lunge. Left hand is down, and we're twisting toward that front leg, keeping the back knee down, or option to come up. 2 rounds of breath. Modify your arm position as needed. Perfect. And then we'll bring the hands down and come up to a standing forward fold. So we're going to step forward in whatever way you can get there, letting the knees soften a little bit so that we can get fingers to the floor without straining the back of the legs. Give the toes a wiggle. And then as you're in your forward fold, we're going to imagine that you're holding yourself up off of the ground just a bit, so we're not just flopping into it. You're using that back half of the body to hold yourself in that forward fold as we roll up to stand. Inhale, coming up, reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. Perfect. We'll let the arms down by your side. Give the shoulder blades a couple easy rolls here. Up toward the ears, down and back. Perfect. And then we're going to let the arms rest down by your side, bringing your feet about hip width apart. We're going to move into just a few simple squats. So option to do sit to stand to a chair, feet about hip width apart, toes out slightly. If that's comfortable, you can adjust the toe position how you like. Neutral spine, we're going to sit back into our either real or imaginary chair and back up. So starting with a partial range squat, not going to your full depth, just kind of warming up the hips and the knees, seeing if we can move in a way that feels comfortable. Check in, see how everything's feeling. 3, good. Weight even on both feet. 2, both hips and knees bending together, maybe a hint of a lean backwards if you tend to have trouble getting your hips to get back. 1 more time, and then up we go. Perfect. Then we're going to do another round of that in a moment, but while we're letting our legs take a break, we're going to take that long band, bring it so that we're standing on it. So checking in again here with posture. So the band, while you're stepping on it, I'm holding it with my hands right by my side. If I don't really do much, the band's going to pull me into kind of this super slouchy sort of position. So use the activation of your legs, your feet into the floor to stand up, grow tall, making yourself nice and long, having that resistance of the band to give you some feedback about where we're at in space. Maybe bringing the shoulders back just a little bit. If you notice the band wanting to pull them forward, keeping the shoulders anchored onto your rib cage, but they don't need to be pinched way back. There's a happy medium place to be. Same goes with the rib cage. We're standing straight, but without arching our back. So even though we're lifted through the crown of the head, think about softening the bottom of the rib cage down. Standing tall against the band here, kind of a little hint of maybe slight activity in the back of the shoulders. 2 full rounds of breath, allowing the exhale to fully soften your ribs down. Maybe soften the knees just a little bit. Perfect. Then you can give your fingers a break from holding the band, push it off to the side, step away. And then we're going to come back to our squat. Option to add some weight. If you want to add 1 weight to your chest here in front of you, or we can do 2 weights just by your side, whatever level of added resistance you'd like to have. You can have our feet ahead, stand tall, and just carefully, slowly sink down and back up. We're going to take 3 seconds on the way down, so it's slower than you might think. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 to come up. A slow motion squat. Weight even on both feet. 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and in. If this is new to you, you might just do a few reps, which is okay. If you've got some practice with this and you want to do a few more, we'll go up to 10. Inhale and exhale. 2, 3, a few more. The head stays stacked right over the rest of your body. So we're in a neutral head neck position. Squats are actually a pretty underrated exercise for building up our strength of our postural muscles. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 2 more. And again, if this is new, option to do just like between 3 or 5 reps might be a safer place to start. You can always do more later. All right, perfect. And then once we're done, I'm gonna let weights down. Give your hands a little bit of a break. And then we'll grab our band again in just a moment. But before we do, to have it close by, I'm just gonna take a moment to stand, feet together, palms forward, soften the knees, standing in that nice kind of centered, aligned position with your feet under the knees soft, pelvis neutral, so not too far forward, not too far back, ribs over the pelvis, shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders. That's our anchor point, our stacked alignment. And then see if you can memorize that while you close your eyes. If you don't feel safe to close your eyes, of course, keep them open. But if you can, we'll work a little bit on proprioception so the eyes are closed. Allow yourself to breathe. And allow then a little bit of a weight shift, slightly more toward the heels. Notice how that changes things. And then a little bit of a weight shift, slightly more toward the front of the foot, the toes. Unlock that. One more little shift each way, a little bit of a weight shift backwards. It won't really be much. I don't want you to fall. And then a little weight shift forward. And then settle back into the center. So you have even weight distribution between heel and front of the foot. And between left and right. And I know I'm asking a lot, a little bit of a lift of the arches of the feet, like you're bringing the ball of your big toe toward your heel without losing contact of your big toe. All right, good. We're gonna open the eyes. Give yourself a little wiggle. And then we'll come back to our squat one more time. Like I know I mentioned the band, leave it there. We are gonna use it in just a moment. But before we get to that, before we cool down from our squat, we'll come back to one more round of our squat, either with or without weights. Feet hip width apart, both hips and knees bend just to your real or imaginary chair. Drive through the heels to come back up. One. Heels and toes. 2 is a better cue. It shouldn't be all heels. Just sometimes we're too far forward. 3, good. And we're gonna take 3 seconds to come down. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 to come up. Good. As you come down into your squat, your knees, we want more or less aligned with that second and third toe. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You should feel the back muscles doing a little bit of work here, especially the lower we go into your squat, the more your back, our postural muscles in your back need to help support. 2, 3, 2, 3, and squat down. If you notice as we go slow like this, make it a little more challenging than you would think. Takes more effort from our stabilizers, increases the time that the muscle is working, which is a sneaky way to get a little bit of extra load to the muscles without adding more weight. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Super good for stabilization. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and up we go. Perfect. You can let weights down. Give your fingers a little rest from that, and then grab a sip of water, hydrate if you need to. Then we're going to grab our band one more time. So this time, we're going to step on it again, just like we just did. And this time, instead of just standing still, well, 2 options. 1, come back to our drill, just practicing that nice tall position. Or if we're able to, we're going to add a hip hinge to that. So we have our nice neutral position, hinge forward. So we get our tailbone reaching way back behind you. And then there's going to be a little bit of a row, pulling the band up, shoulder blades squeeze together, pause, and slow motion, let it back down. So just a little gentle hip hinge with a row, going back and down. Good. You may need to choke up on the band if you feel like you're not going too far. You start with it a little bit lower. We don't need to bring the elbows up too high. In fact, it's more about shoulder blades coming towards each other. Elbows may stop just at about your waist or slightly beyond, above it. And row. Should feel that whole back posterior chain of the body active here. And 2 more. Exhale through the lift. Shoulder blades come back together. And then 1 more time. Pause and hold. On the last one, a little longer hold. We'll press through the heels to lift yourself back up. We're going to come out of the hinge position, push the band off to the side, and then come back down to the floor. Once we're here, we're going to grab your Pilates ball and bring it between your knees. You're going to lay on your back, take a second, and just get settled into this comfortable position on the mat. We're going to bring the ball between the knees, and then the band, we're going to hold on to it with your hands, elbows by your side. So it's 2 parts. This is going to be a little gentle activation, deep stabilizers, lower body, core, and shoulders kind of all together, but let's take them separately for a moment. Take a full breath in, and then on your exhale, we're going to lower the rib cage down, give the ball a little squeeze. Think about lifting the pelvic floor and deep abs up toward the spine just ever so gently. Full breath as you hold, and then let it go. So it's not a big pushing your stomach out. It's just a very gentle contraction. It essentially happens automatically as you exhale. So it's a full breath in, and then full exhale. You may want to close your eyes so you can really tune in. This is very gentle. Full exhale, giving the ball, let about 25% of your effort squeeze. A little lift of the pelvic floor. A little bit of a gentle contraction, transverse abdominis, deep abs, like you're bringing the 2 bones of your pelvis together. Take a breath, let it go. And then on the next one, we're going to add a little bit of a pull of the band. So the shoulders are going to stay down, and it's just going to be palms facing you. It's just gently Dropping the shoulders down and back a bit as you pull the band. Inhale, and on your exhale, we have just a little gentle squeeze of the ball, little lift of the deep core muscles, and a slight pull of the shoulders back as you pull the band apart. Again, most of this is like a 25% effort, so don't feel like you need to give it all you got. It's our tiny little muscles. Let it go. Take a full breath. Make sure we're unclenching the pelvic floor, unclenching the glutes in between. 2 more. Full exhale. Little squeeze of the ball, little lift of the pelvic floor, deep core. Slight pull of the band. Pause. We're going to hold those gentle contractions while you breathe. And then take a little break. Come off of it with control. So ease into it, ease off. One more time. Full exhale. The ball squeezes, little lift to the pelvis, pelvic floor, little lift to the transverse abdominis, slight pull of the band. Rib cage heavy. Take a breath. And then exhale, let everything go. Once we're done, we're going to give the band a break. And the ball you can bring off to the side. We're going to bring it under your left foot. And then keeping ribs, pelvis neutral, we're going to slide the ball out a couple inches and back in. So not a full extension of the knee, but just gently checking in, keeping the pelvis steady as you reach out and back in. You can bring your arms by your side. Collarbones wide. Just a little bit of energy in toward the ball. The opposite right leg is actually doing more of the work to stabilize you, keeping your pelvis steady. Reach maybe half an inch further. And then one more time, we're going to slowly reach out, rib cage heavy. Take a breath, exhale, full exhale to come back, and then try that on the other side. So we've got the ball under the right foot. Take a breath in, exhale to reach out. Take a breath in, exhale to come back in. Exhale, reach. So the movement of the leg is the easy part. Exhale to come back. The harder part is coordinating with your breath. So our deep core stabilizers are doing what they should. Exhale on the way back. So we're always exhaling with the effort, with the movement. If you ever get confused about which way to breathe, exhale as you reach. Collarbone still wide. Take a breath in. Exhale again. And let's try one more time. Full exhale. And full exhale to come back. You got it. And then we're going to push the ball off to the side. And then if you've got your loop band, I'm going to grab that guy and bring it just above the knees for some bridging. So with the feet about hip width apart, you can give the band a little gentle press out just for a moment. Check in with the deep muscles within the hips, collarbones wide. Take tension off the band. Perfect. Breath in. Exhale, little gentle press. And then we're going to anchor your heels to the ground, float the tailbone up. So we're going to use your glutes. Think about right where the bottom meets the back of the thigh, lifting up into either a partial or a full bridge, whatever's comfortable. Give the chin a little lift from the chest. Spine long, so we're reaching your tailbone out toward the back of your shins, or your calves rather. Take a breath in and then articulated bridge. We're going to roll down one piece at a time. Collarbones wide, take a breath. And again, exhale, a little posterior tilt. Tailbone lifts up first. Anchor the heels. It doesn't have to be the highest bridge in the world. We just want to get the muscles, the back chain of the body working. Chin lifted. Think about the contact with the feet. That's where all the effort comes from, is that support on the floor. Roll it down where your tailbone comes down last. We'll take some tension off the band in between. And one more time, this time option to continue using your arms. If we want to make it a little more challenging, we could take the arms out of it, reaching to the sky, using just your legs to lift up. And then slow, taking your time as slow as you possibly can to come back down. Perfect. Once we're down, you can bring the band off, hug the knees to the chest, maybe give yourself a little Rock side to side. And then we're going to come all the way up to sitting, however you'd like to get there. Either rock yourself up, roll yourself up, just come on up to sit. We're going to flip around onto your belly. So you may want to have, now, pillow or small towel under your forehead here. Or if you're able to hold your head up, we're going to just do a little bit more work with our scapula here. We're going to bring the arms down by your side. You can either hold your head up or, again, have your head supported on a towel or a pillow. And now we're going to turn the palms toward the floor if we can, and then just a little gentle shoulder blade squeeze. Head in line with the rest of the body. Ribs down. Pause and hold. And then let everything either rest down on your towel or hand on the head on the back of the arm. You can do one or both arms. Option to bring a pillow under your belly if there's any issue here. We're going to do 2 more, palms facing the ground, lifting up if we can, or head supported on your pillow. Squeeze the shoulder blades back as you reach your fingers long toward the back of the knees. Just a little gentle activation of the shoulder blade muscles there. Pause. And then exhale, come down either forehead onto towel, or you can let the head rest on the back of your arm. And then one more time. We're going to reach down, little lift up, shoulder blades back, palms to the floor, arms long. We don't have to go up way too high. We're just lifting them enough to get that area between your shoulder blades active. And I think about shoulder blades reaching toward the opposite pocket. Perfect. Then we're going to come down, hands under shoulders, and then use your arms a little bit, little baby cobra, lifting your back up into some gentle extension without forcing it. Exhale, letting it come back down. So staying within, starting at maybe half of your range. Back muscles doing most of the work. In fact, the hands are barely helping out. Down we go. And one more time. Inhale, peeling yourself up, letting each vertebrae help. Just a little help from the arms, using most of that strength, so we're not forcing it, and then down we go. Once we're down, we're going to come up to hands and knees. Swing your legs around to come to a sit. Give the legs a little shake, and then we're going to reach up and forward, active forward fold. So you're going to be tempted to grab your toes. Try not to. We're going to keep the back half of the body active as you're reaching forward, elongating the back half of the body, and then anchor the feet down as you sit up. Reach to the sky, and then one more time, reaching forward, either toes down, or if you want a little stronger nerve glide action, you can bring your toes up, but that shouldn't feel painful. It should just feel like a nice stretch. And then back, nice and tall. Perfect. Then we're going to make sure we've got plenty of room behind you as you roll back down to the floor. Once we're here, we're going to get ready for Shavasana, palms to the sky. Eyes closed. Feel free to grab any extra props that you might need. Pillows, blankets. Closing the eyes. We'll go through a little guided relaxation. So first we're going to tense all the muscles of the feet, the calves, the thighs, the glutes. Give them one big squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let everything go. And then next we're going to make a fist. Squeeze the muscles of the arms. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then let everything go. And then last, we'll tense the muscles of the face. Squeeze the eyes, pucker the lips. Like we ate a big sour candy. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let it all go. Just bringing your attention gently back to your breath. Noticing where you feel the breath in your body. quality, how deep, how shallow. Without any judgment, there's nothing to change, we're just noticing. Just getting a little background information about what is happening in our nervous system. Each exhale is an opportunity to let any extra tension that's hanging out, just to let it go. Softening the eyes, softening the face, the throat. Allowing the ribs and the shoulder blades to be heavy. Relaxing in the belly and the pelvic floor and the low back. And then on your next breath, we're going to bring back a little bit of movement to the fingers and toes, keeping that softness with you. And turn to your side. Pause here. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up to sit. We'll wake ourselves back up with a nice reach to the sky inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. And close your eyes for just a moment. Giving yourself some gratitude for having time on the mat for yourself and for all those movements you were able to do. Namaste. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that class. Hope to see you another time soon.